Aaron Rodgers was recently asked if he wanted to play in 2025, and he had this to say, quote, "I don't even know if I want to play yet, but New York would be my first option." And in November, he was asked the same question, and he replied, "I think so, yeah." So I don't know about this dude. I would really advise him to retire. I really think he should have retired as a Green Bay Packer after they lost against San Francisco when they were the number one seed in the NFC. That was just such a choke job game, and his last real shot at winning a Super Bowl, because this thing with New York obviously did not work out, and he's not a terrible quarterback right now by any means, but the All-Pro Hall of Fame quarterback he once was is long, long gone. He's decent, man. He's decent. If you look at his stats, they're decent, and I would say he's just a very average quarterback right now. He's probably in the 15 to 20 ranked overall of QBs in the league, somewhere in that number. But the days of him being an all-pro, Pro Bowl quarterback are gone, and I just don't really think he could help a team that much. So I just really think he should call it, man. He's just kind of ruining his legacy a lot to a certain extent, and I just think he should move on, man. He obviously has a lot of interest with other things in the world that he's talked about a lot over the past 2 years, and I just think he should just explore that side of life. Like, he's 40 and he's pretty injury prone, and I'm sure he doesn't really want to get hit anymore. Not to say quarterbacks in this era of the NFL get hit in a gruesome fashion like they used to, even like 10 years ago, but still, man, just call it, like, right off into the sunset. I know you have a ton of money. Like, what's the point? If he really does come back, ego is definitely going to be a big reason why. And, it's the game he loves at the same time. And sure, he still wants to compete and prove people wrong. But, like, someone just has to get in his corner and just tell him, like, bro, enough is enough. But we'll find out. If I really had to make a prediction, I think he will come back. He will come back, and if he does come back, he reportedly wants to play with the New York Jets. That is his first option, but that is just not going to happen, man. There was a report about a week ago, and apparently the owner, Woody Johnson, wanted to bench Aaron Rodgers after they lost to the Broncos at home. Woody owns the team, and he's made a lot of disastrous calls and trades this year that we're all aware of, and it's really his way or the highway, man. And it's not looking like he wants Aaron as his quarterback for the future, and I really think it's just best for both parties at this point. From the Jets' perspective, I think it's just best to just nuke the roster and just start a new era in New York as quickly as possible and just move on. So if he does come back, there's no way he's playing for the Jets. Absolutely no way. And they're paying him, what, $38 million a year? So listen, his play does not equal to $38 million a year. It's plain and simple. So there's just no way that's going to happen. So if he does come back, I think it's kind of fun to look at potential teams he would go to and actual teams that need a quarterback. And right away, obviously, there's a need for the Giants. But the good thing about the Giants is they're probably going to have a top 3 draft pick. So they're probably going to address the QB vacancy via the draft. So thankfully, the Giants probably won't be interested. I'm sure Giants fans are really hoping they aren't, but that GM kind of seems erratic, so we'll have to really wait until the offseason, until things are finalized. And yeah, man, other teams in the NFL that obviously need a quarterback, the Titans, the Raiders. I think the Raiders could be potentially a spot for him to land, just because there's that Tom Brady influence, and Las Vegas, I'm sure he would want to maybe live in Las Vegas maybe, compared to Tennessee. So there's that. Also, New Orleans is a decent spot, but again, they're kind of in a weird sort of spot. Apparently, the owner does not want to rebuild, even though they should. So I don't know what's going on there. That's another really messy, dysfunctional, to the max organization. But who knows? Maybe that's a good fit for Aaron Rodgers. They both seem pretty erratic, so maybe it would be a match made in heaven. I'm not sure. But there's one team that I think would actually make a lot of sense, and we might see it happen. You never know. And that team is the Seattle Seahawks. Now, Geno Smith is currently the quarterback there, and Sam Howell's the backup. I don't know what they're doing as far as the quarterback situation in Seattle. I really wanted them to draft a quarterback this past draft, and who knows, they might draft a quarterback for this upcoming draft, because I really think Geno is a bridge quarterback, and the fact that they don't have a guy waiting in the wings right now. I know Sam Howell has potential, but how much potential does he really have, and how much of an upgrade is he really over Geno Smith? Maybe one day we'll find out, but I don't think Sam Howell is the long-term answer unless they have some amazing offensive-minded guy to really, bring the best out of him, but I'm not sure they do. So the reason why I like this move is because the Seahawks are in a win-now mode. It's a pretty good roster, man. That defense is good, and that offense, you have Kenneth Walker, you have Tyler Lockett, you have DK, you have JSN emerging as a star in this league. Your tight end room is pretty good as well. It's a win-now roster, and, Aaron Rodgers, Geno Smith, I think Aaron Rodgers is definitely better than Geno Smith right now. I think that's a clear upgrade. I mean, if you just look at Geno's picks that he's thrown the last couple weeks, very terribly timed picks and just like almost borderline soul crushing, even though that the team is so good that they can overcome that. Aaron Rodgers still can sling it, and I just feel like it would be a good spot for him, man. He has weapons, and if he wants to come back, he wants to win, and I just think that's a really good spot for him to win games and maybe potentially go on a playoff run. But yeah, if I'm Aaron Rodgers' agent, if I'm Aaron Rodgers, I want to go to Seattle if I do come back and play in 2025. You guys let me know if you agree with me there. Do you think Aaron should retire? Obviously, that would be my first choice for him to retire, but if he doesn't retire, go to Seattle. And yeah, you guys let me know where you think he should go if he does come back. And are you sick of hearing about this dude, or do you still like Aaron Rodgers? Has he ruined his legacy over the last 2-3 years? You let me know in the comments below. And if you made this far, please subscribe and help out your boy a ton. That's all I got for right now. Peace.
The Broncos go with the dime formation here on defense. The Chargers have it at the 39. Malik Jackson chases him down.
Every defense is looking for somebody to hit the quarterback, and the best person to do it is the defensive end. What a good job that time by him.
Green set now, split out wide to the left. Rivers has got it in the gun. And that pass is just thrown away. The Chargers are going to punt this one away. And no return as this goes for a touchback. The Chargers defense, where was it the last time? They could not stop the pass.
Well, they were trying. I mean, they were working as hard as they could, but hey, this group they're going against on offense, they're pretty good.
First down at the 20. Demaryius Thomas with the grab. Met by Flowers that time.
Anytime you get over 4 yards on first down, it doesn't matter what the play is. Is it a run or a pass? That time, nice throw by the QB. Now they're in great position. Second down and short.
The Broncos have it at the 29.
The NFL is so hard in these known situations. Second down and short is a big running down in the NFL. The defense knew it. They took advantage of it and stopped the offense for no gain.
Pulls it in. That's been the story of this game. Another third down conversion to move the chains.
I like